welcome to the show. My name is T and we are talking scary movies. I appreciate you tuning in for this brand new review. Don't forget, every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I'm going to either have some movie news, an interview, or an opinion piece for you in the world of horror. You're not going to want to miss that, but I also put out multiple reviews throughout the week, movies, games, TV shows, books, whatever. You don't want to miss those either, so the best way to stay on top of all the content I'm dropping for you all on my channel is to get subscribed to my link tree. And you can do that by going to linktr.ee/T-Scary-Movie. If you get subscribed to my link tree, that's going to give you access to the YouTube page where you can watch the video versions of the show, to your favorite podcasting platforms where you can catch the audio-only versions of the show, to my Letterboxd page for my written reviews and movie rankings throughout the year, to my TikTok page for my short horror content, including movie news and movie premieres, to my Twitch page where you can catch me doing all my horror gaming, which will include The Thing for PlayStation 2 that I'm going to be starting here in just a week or so, and to my Fangoria shop page where you can enjoy my 20% discount off anything in the Fangoria store, including the physical magazine subscription. Take advantage of that. Hit that subscribe button, especially if you're watching on YouTube, as folks, the more subscribers I get, the more content I can put out for all of you. So, what are we talking about here tonight in movie reviews? Earlier this year, I took a look at the original Puppet Master film. Now, I know there are various films called Puppet Masters. This is the one about the puppets that come and kill people now. So, I watched the original Puppet Master this year, and I said I was going to work through this franchise. And it's been so much fun because, I'm working through a lot of older franchises that I have, bits and pieces of memories of because I saw them either really, really young and either saw the full thing or just saw bits and pieces. And Puppet Master is a bit one of those franchises that's like that. Ghoulies and Critters is part of that too, and we're doing that. But yeah, I did Puppet Master 1, and it's time, finally, months and months later, to get here to Puppet Master 2. So that is what we are talking about here tonight. Let's not waste any time. Let's jump right on in. Now, if you haven't seen the trailer for Puppet Master 2 before, this continues the story set up in the original film to where Andre Toulon created these puppets that were actually alive, and the technology was sought out by the Nazis. And in an effort to stop this from getting into the wrong hands, Toulon decided to lock the puppets away and kill himself to protect this secret. The evil Neil Gallagher finds the puppets and uses this magic for his own selfish desires, and uses the puppets to gain the psychic powers of his friends who he's invited to the Bodega Bay Inn. Now, that movie left off with Neil being killed by the puppets he used to kill these others, and leaving us with 2 survivors. Puppet Master 2 takes us back to the Bodega Bay Inn, where now an entirely new group of paranormal investigators are researching into the atrocities that have happened at this hotel. Now, we're given a bit of backstory on Andre Toulon and his puppets and the way that that all started. And it turns out, it seems that the resurrected Andre Toulon is now using his puppets for evil to find a way to complete his own selfish desires. And there it is. That is Puppet Master 2. Folks. Now, from the jump here, what is very interesting about this is the fact that the first film only gave us the smallest bit of Andre Toulon. You might remember, I believe it was William Hickey who played him in the first film at the very beginning, and there wasn't any indication at the start of that film that Toulon was this evil-spirited, mean, this guy who would do anything to get what he wanted at the beginning of that. He was creating these puppets, he seemingly had a lot of love and care for them, and when the Nazis showed up, he's trying to protect this from getting the Nazis, so how bad of a person could Toulon really be? And the rest of the movie focused on, again, Neil Gallagher, using the puppets for evil. Again, the puppets were not necessarily evil themselves, but he was the one that was guiding them to do all of these evil things. And this time around, the puppets resurrect Toulon, and Toulon immediately starts using them for technically evil purposes as well. He's doing it to resurrect his long-lost wife, but he has to kill a number of people in order to do that. And already that kind of put me at odds with it, because the Toulon that we saw in the first film, no matter how short that was, did not seem to match the Toulon that we're getting here now. And the movie does a good job of showing us a flashback to where he was a kind of a failed child's performer. He was putting on these shows back in, oh Lord, I'm trying to remember when that would have been. The early 19th, it was 1910, 1912, something like that now. But it shows Toulon putting on these shows with his wife Elsa, to where he's using these puppets and like trying to entertain the children. The puppets aren't alive as of yet, but then somebody shows him how he can actually bring his puppets alive, and that obviously gives him the fame. But when Elsa is killed, he's looking to bring her back, and the only way he can apparently do that is to get this brain fluid from these people who have like psychic powers in order to bring her back, to reanimate the body. The problem though is that the same fluid that he needs to resurrect his wife is the fluid that the puppets need to stay alive. So more of that they have, the more alive that they can be as well too, which of course is going to put them at odds with Toulon at some point. Now, beyond that though, I mean, honestly, the film has the same exact quirks as that first movie, because it's set in the exact same place, the Bodega Bay Inn. And you're gonna get a lot of the same stuff to where the puppets are going around and murdering all these people who are unfortunately have shown up at this hotel. And one thing that I kind of found hilarious about it, and I thought it would just be the first film, but it is entirely this. These are some horny ass movies, man. Like the fact that like these folks know the folks are getting murdered in this hotel, like literally getting murdered like right before and after, and their thoughts are, you know what, let's just go bone really quickly there. It's the right time for it. It's like, I don't know how you could do that if you know your life is in danger. You have a security system set up in this hotel. You've seen puppets walking around doing things here, and yet you still think it's safe to go and bone. That seems ridiculous to me. And it's because of that fact now, after seeing this second one fully through, I feel like these movies had to have been made for like Showtime's early, like late night softcore, like lineup, and then somebody halfway through say, nah, you know what, nah, throw in some evil puppets, let's make it a horror movie instead. This won't really work out too well, because I swear to God, this movie rides the fine, these movies have ridden the fine line of being like B-level horror films that are pretty fun to watch, and like late night softcore, like Cinemax Showtime fare, honestly. And I know a lot of that is the filter and the gratuitous nudity that we get to see in these, but you can't help but think that at all. I did find it interesting because I clearly must have gone to the bathroom or grabbed a drink at the very beginning of this film, but apparently the film does wrap up the stories of our two surviving protagonists from the original film pretty quick. And I love when franchises got a chance to do that, because back in like the 80s and the 90s, that was the thing, is that unless like your hero was the one that was going to make it through like the rest of the franchise, they were likely going to be one of the first people killed in the next film. And I know you've seen a bunch of movies that have definitely done that, and I like the fact that they kind of continued that trend here with Puppet Master 2 as well. Now, in terms of these puppets, we do get a couple new ones here. Torch being like the really cool one with a flamethrower on his hands. But beyond that, we get a lot of the returning puppets from the original film. And one thing that I thought was super funny and super humorous in that first movie is that they didn't shy away from the fact that, okay, these things are literally like this tall. They are not that big at all. So if they get the drop on you, of course they're gonna be able to take you out. But like, as long as you can kind of like get your hands all set and everything, you're pretty good to go at that point, right? Like that's the way that's just gonna work out, honestly. And I love the fact that these guys are able to kind of fight the puppets a little bit more throughout this film. Makes it a little bit more of an even movie, because good Lord, they murder the hell out of people in this. And granted, I don't think there's a kill that's as good as like Tunneler's kill with the dude on the ground where he just barrels into his head. I thought that was great in the first movie, but there are some really cool kills in this one. I love the scene to where they go and like take care of that couple that's living behind the electric fence. That is a hilarious scene, and for some reason made me think of Brian Cox's segment in the Trick or Treat when he's running from Sam, and like Sam's just completely tearing his ass up in his house. For some reason I got a big thought of that with it. These movies are fun. They are so much fun, honestly. Don't come to this for the plot, at least from what I've seen from the first film. And I know there's like a dozen more movies for me to get through. I don't know if I'm gonna get through them all before the end of the year. We're gonna have to go into next year as well. But I'm excited to see where these go, because the ending of this film was very similar to the first one, to where, like I said, the puppets end up turning on the person that resurrected them to use them for evil. And it makes it again very clear the puppets themselves are not good or bad. They kind of go along with whatever the person who brought them up is having them do. But the moment they realize that they're like being like played for fools, that they're being exploited at that point, they turn on their makers. And in this case here was the idea that their maker literally was only resurrecting them to resurrect his wife, and he was going to let them all die. Which are you going to go with? The movie leaves off with like obviously a tease of the next film, but realistically I have to wonder whether or not that's when we're going to see the puppets are actually good the entire time. Because I said it in my review for the first one, I know at some point in this franchise it's not a case of wait till the end and the puppets turn and they're good. So I wonder if the third film's the one where it's actually going to happen. I don't know. I'm having fun with the franchise either way. There's some great deaths in it, honestly. The acting in it is hilarious. That's not going to be like a high point in terms of quality, but I think you'll get a few laughs out of it for sure. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with a cheesy late 80s, early 90s like horror film that features little puppets killing each other. We could use a little bit more of that for sure. So go and check this one out. It is actually available for free on Prime Video, so you can go and see it and tell me what you think of it yourself. And speaking of small toys, again, if you want a chance to win yourself a Tall Man Funko Pop, tell me here in the comment section, which of the puppets are your favorite? Are you a Blade guy? Are you a Tunneler guy? I want to know. Let me know in the comment section who your favorite puppet is from the franchise to get a chance to win a Tall Man Funko Pop. And that's going to do it for us tonight here, folks. Hit that subscribe button because, again, I got reviews coming for you here for Ghoulies. We're going to look at the original Phantasm as well. Got a lot of good stuff coming for you here in the coming weeks, y'all. Hit that subscribe button. But that's going to do it for me here tonight. My name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared. Boy here is a big fan of Fangoria. So, if you want to check out the world's best horror magazine that's out there, get a chance to get yourself your own subscription, which I just got my first one back in 2022 and I don't regret it for a second. But if you want your own Fangoria subscription or you like the Fangoria merchandise, then head over to the Fangoria shop and use my link if you want to save yourself some money, folks. That's an easy one to remember. Just go to shop.fangoria.com/AXDEW. Again, that's shop.fangoria.com/AXDEW, or use my specific code AXDEW at checkout. You can save 20% off your entire order, and that implies 2 subscription and one-time orders as well. You don't want to miss out, folks, because with the magnitude of horror movies we've had released in the last few years and with what we have on the horizon, Fangoria is going to be your #1 source for all that great, juicy, bloody information in the world of horror. So again, head to shop.fangoria.com. Hey there, folks! Thanks for tuning in to T Watch This Scary Movie. I appreciate you checking out another review or movie news, whether we're talking movies, TV shows, books, or games, whatever, it's all scary. Remember, you can check out new episodes every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on the YouTube page for video. That's youtube.com/C/Theron Reynolds Scary Movie. Again, youtube.com/C/Theron Reynolds Scary Movie. And you can check out the audio version on all your favorite podcasting platforms. Just search T Watch the Scary Movie or TWASM. Don't forget, my name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared.